The mahogany desk was covered with files and glowing screens, but Daniel Carter's eyes weren't on them anymore. They were on the reflection in the glass wall before him. The skyline of the city stretched out endlessly, its lights flickering like stars, but in that reflection, he saw something he could no longer ignore. His own tired face, lines carved by years of work and isolation. Today was his 50th birthday. Once, long ago, birthdays meant laughter. A dinner with family, maybe a badly baked cake from his sister when they were kids. But that was before success devoured everything else. Now there were no calls, no visits, no reminders except the cold, impersonal ping from his calendar that morning. Birthday Daniel Carter. All day no one had noticed. His employees, polished and polite, spoke to him with reverence and fear, but not warmth. And his phone? Silent. He poured himself a glass of whiskey, but even that tasted bitter tonight. What's the point of everything I built, if no one's here to share it? He thought, closing his laptop with a hollow thud. He slipped on his coat and headed for the elevator, bracing himself for another lonely night in his sprawling penthouse until something unexpected stopped him in his tracks. The corridor leading to the lobby was nearly deserted, but faint light spilled from the company daycare down the hall. It was unusual. Most children had been picked up hours ago. Out of instinct, Daniel slowed his steps. Through the glass door he saw her, a tiny girl with chestnut pigtails, sitting at a low table meant for children. Her sneakers dangled above the floor as she swung her legs absent-mindedly, humming a tune only she seemed to know. On the table in front of her was a small plastic plate, and when Daniel stepped closer, she looked up with bright, curious eyes. Instead of shrinking back at the sight of the intimidating CEO, she smiled as though she had been waiting for him. "Hi, mister," she said with a kind of innocent certainty. "I saved you some cake." Daniel blinked. For a moment he wondered if fatigue was playing tricks on him, but then he saw it clearly. A square of chocolate cake, with slightly melted pink frosting, carefully placed on a napkin as though it were something precious. "You saved this for me?" His voice cracked in a way that surprised even him. She nodded, her pigtails bouncing. "Uh-huh. Mommy said you're the big boss, but everybody should have cake on their birthday. Did no one give you any?" The simple, unfiltered question cut through him sharper than any boardroom debate. He swallowed hard, unable to answer right away. All he could do was stare at this little stranger, who somehow noticed something no one else had. For the first time that day, the corners of his lips trembled into the hint of a smile. Daniel hesitated, then slowly stepped into the daycare room. His $1,000 shoes looked almost absurd against the colorful rugs, scattered crayons and toy blocks. He felt like an intruder in a world he hadn't belonged to for decades. The little girl pushed the plate toward him with both hands. "It's chocolate. The best part was the corner piece, but I saved that for you." Daniel crouched down, the movement stiff, unused. His hand, accustomed to signing contracts worth millions, now trembled slightly as he picked up the tiny piece of cake. The frosting left a smudge on his thumb, but he didn't care. He took a small bite, and to his surprise, the sweetness filled something hollow inside him that no luxury meal ever had. "Thank you," he whispered, his throat tightening. The girl's face lit up. "You're welcome." "When it's my birthday, Mommy says the best gift is when someone remembers." Her words pierced him deeper than she could possibly know. He suddenly realized this child, who had so little, had given him more than anyone in years: recognition, kindness, and the reminder that birthdays were meant to be shared, not forgotten. For the first time in a long while, Daniel felt warmth instead of emptiness. The girl's mother appeared in the doorway, apologetic and flustered. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Carter. I had to work late," and she insisted on waiting. But Daniel raised a hand gently, surprising them both. "No need to apologize. Your daughter just gave me the best birthday gift I've had in years." The woman looked bewildered, but her daughter beamed proudly. Daniel stood, pulling a handkerchief from his pocket to discreetly wipe his eyes. He looked down at the child, who was now munching on the leftover crumbs. "Thank you for reminding me of something important," he said softly. "That even the busiest man needs someone to share cake with." The girl giggled, and Daniel felt a rare laugh escape his own lips. As they left together, Daniel lingered at the door, watching the mother and daughter disappear into the night. For the first time in years, he didn't feel completely alone. He looked at the empty plate in his hand, then out at the glittering skyline through the lobby glass. Maybe, he thought, life still has room for something sweeter than success. And with that quiet promise, Daniel Carter, CEO, billionaire, and once lonely man, walked into the night, carrying the taste of cake and the memory of a little girl's kindness in his heart.